Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
In this modern age of ever-evolving security threats, an organization stands out in the Philippine Army. Professional soldiers with unwavering commitment, working as a team, performing tasks unheard, unseen, providing accurate, timely, relevant, and predictive intelligence. They are exactly where they are supposed to be, upholding the core purpose of serving the people and securing the land. We are your Army Intelligence Regiment.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Sandatahan, dagdag lakas sa pwersa ng pamahalaan, handang tumulong sa nangangailangan, inialay ang sarili sa sambayanan. Iba't iba man ang aming pinanggalingan, iba't ibang kaalaman, mga karanasan, profesional sa tungkuling mga sinumpaan, bayang Pilipinas pinaglilingkuran. Kami ang mga langkawal, kabilang sa hukbo ng sandatahan, kabalikat namin mga mamamayan, sinusulong kapayapaan, elemento ng karasan nilalabanan. Laang kawal, hurra! Kami laging handa, buo ang loob kahit na anong banta. Sa hirap at ginhawa ay sama-sama, kami ang laang kawal, nagkakaisa. Mga isyu namin ay magagampanan sa tamang pagkilos at walang iwanan. Pambansang karapatan ay ipaglalaban, mahal na Pilipinas, ating inang bayan. Kami ang mga langkawal, kabilang sa hukbo ng sandatahan, kabalikat namin mga mamamayan, sinusulong kapayapaan, elemento ng karasan nilalabanan. Laang kawal, hurra! service ng sandatahan, dagdag lakas sa pwersa ng pamahalaan, handang tumulong sa nangangailangan, inialay ang sarili sa sambayanan. Iba't iba man ang aming pinanggalingan, iba't ibang kaalaman, mga karanasan, profesional sa tungkuling mga sinumpaan, bayang Pilipinas pinagilingkuran. Kami ang mga langkawal, kabilang sa buko ng sandatahan, kabalikat namin mga mamamayan, sinusulong kapayapaan, elemento ng karasan nilalabanan, laang kawal, hurra! Laang kawal, hurra! Laang kawal, hurra! Laang kawal, hurra!
Okay, at isang magandang umaga po sa inyo pong lahat, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Ito po ang inyong katropa, si Katropang Bernie, para po sa ating programang Reservist Hour. Good morning po sa inyo. At ngayon po ay June 5, 2021. At nais ko pong batiin ang lahat po ng ating mga taga-subaybay sa ating programang Reservist Hour. Ganun din po yung ating mga katropa na mula po sa ibayong dagat na nanonood. Sila po yung ating mga makabagong bayani or OFW. At ganun din po sa lahat po ng ating mga katropa, kababayan po dyan. Bueno po, nais ko pong ipakilala, batiin na po ngayon ang ating panauhin for this Saturday here at the Service Hour. Live po tayo na napapanood at DWDD AFP Radio. Siya po ang commander ng 7th Marine Brigade Reserve. Nais ko po ipakilala sa inyo si Colonel Roberto Manuel T. Feliciano, Philippine Navy Marines Reserve. Sir, good morning po sa inyo. Okay, sir. Check po natin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, Bernie. Marami pong salamat sa isang pagkakataon para ma-meet kayo at sagutin or magbigay ng information tungkol sa reserve component po natin.
And sir, at kinagagalak din po namin na kayo po ay makasama dito po sa ating programa. Bagamat alam po natin na napaka-busy po niya ng inyong schedule, bilang commander po ng 7th Marine Brigade at talaga pong taus-puso po ang aming pasasalamat po sa inyo at napaunlakan niyo po kami ngayon. And kamusta naman po kayo dyan, sir?
Mabuti po naman. Tamang sinabi niyo na busy kami lahat. Marami kaming kailangan sikasuin para ma-maintain yung unit at ma-maintain ng readiness. Pero we are always ready to respond to and give information about our unit and our tasks. So we welcome this opportunity po.
Thank you for that, sir. And talaga pong sabi nga nila talagang Marines are always there and ready to fight, whether land, air, and sea. Talagang lagi pong handa at maaasahan. And sige po, sir, baka meron po kayong nais batiin as we start our program.
Yes po, marami pong salamat sa lahat sa inyo na who made this opportunity possible para ma-meet po kayo at magbigay ng information and to all of our reservists and to the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Marine Corps and the Naval Reserve Command for all the support na na-extend ninyo sa inyong Marine Reserve Component and our 7th Marine Brigade po.
Okay po, sir. And sir, I'd just like to ask ano po, what are the functions and mandate you perform po in order to perform the unit's mission, especially po with the Philippine Navy, together with the Philippine Navy, sir?
Yes po. Our principal function is in the 7th Marine Brigade po, is to provide the command, control, and administration of Marine Corps Reserve units in our area of responsibility. This is in order to maintain our readiness to respond to the mandated missions under Republic Act 7077 to provide a base for the expansion of the Philippine Navy in general and the Philippine Marine Corps in particular in the event of war, invasion, or rebellion, and to assist in relief and rescue during disasters or calamities, and to assist in socioeconomic development and in the operation and maintenance of essential government or private utilities, all in furtherance of the overall mission of the Philippine Navy.
Thank you, sir. And would just like to ask, sir, maybe when did the 7th Marine Brigade Reserve started po?
The 7th Marine Brigade po was activated effective in January 1st, 2010. This was following the activation of the predecessor brigade-sized reserve unit of the Marine Corps, which was the 4th Marine Brigade po. And at the time, the 7th Marine Brigade was activated. It was one of 3 brigade-sized reserve units of the Philippine Marine Corps.
So it was, sir, in 2010 when it was activated, tama po, sir?
Opo, tama po yun.
And then I'm not sure po, if I saw or heard po talaga na previously, you also joined some balikatan exercises with your units. Tama po ba, sir?
Yes po. One of them, yung participation sa mga bilateral and combined exercises is a regular or an annual activity of the Marine Reserve Component po. Even during the time of the 4th Marine Brigade po, we were always participating in the bilateral exercises like Balikatan, or as it was known then, the FIBLEX, which is a marine-to-marine exercise. And that continues up to today with the 7th Marine Brigade po.
So that's how very active po pala ang 7th Marine Brigade Reserve. And truly, as we see it in Facebook and reported in the news before, talaga pong participant po kayo lagi or madalas po dito sa balikatan exercises, to which nakakatulong po in enhancing and honing your skills dyan po sa mga reservists po natin mula po sa Philippine Navy Marines. And nakakatuwa po yan at patuloy po ang inyo pong pagsasanay po at pag-participate sa mga ganong klaseng exercises. Now, sir, during the past months and years, sir, what are the 7th Marine Brigade's accomplishments po?
If you look since a year ago, or many of our accomplishments were, well, cover certain areas such as the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Starting since a year ago, we were heavily involved in the disaster relief efforts for the in the wake of the Taal volcano eruption, where we worked with the Naval Reserve Command and the Philippine Navy and the Marine Corps to provide relief po to victims of the eruption. And following that, we were heavily involved also in the relief efforts for the in the wake of the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we participated with the Philippine Navy and then with the Philippine Marine Corps in their CMO unit, and in partnership with many private sector and other NGOs such as the Save the Troops, Support the Troops Foundation and the GMA Kapuso Foundation to provide relief to many affected communities and to help enforce the protocol for the enhanced community quarantine in affected areas. And we were also participating in providing reservist volunteers in support of the LGUs for maintenance of order and the protocol for the enhanced community quarantine. Apart from that, we were involved in responding to the needs of our community whenever possible. Just recently, one of the communities in our area of operation in Las Piñas suffered a fire, and some fire victims approached us to request for assistance, and so we provided food supplies for them, you know, from our own stocks. And one of the communities in Marikina also requested us for community assistance in their high school to help relocate some of their furniture and facilities. So we responded immediately. We are also involved in continuing training. We have a lot of training activities, some of which are deliberate and provided for by the service, and otherwise we also have other activities which are initiatives po within the brigade. Kami po ang nag-initiate at nag-undertake para meron kaming sariling or ongoing training para to maintain our activities, our knowledge in basic surgery, and to help maintain our competencies, So kahit na walang naka-schedule na regular training for us, we undertake our own initiatives to continue to develop ourselves, and then we also have our own at the same time we have to maintain our readiness to respond to contingencies. So kahit na wala pang activities, we always maintain that readiness, and then we strive to improve our organization. Isa sa mga priorities namin is to improve or enhance our recruitment. Kasi po sa mga reservists, madalas nag-iiba yung mga circumstances sa mga reservists. And over time, kailangan natin improve yung manning natin. And this is a continuing effort po. And we are very grateful po sa Naval Reserve Command and the Philippine Marine Corps for their support in helping us accomplish this po. Yan ang isa sa mga main priorities namin, to continue to develop yung unit and discharge our functions. Tsaka all of this we undertake even in very challenging circumstances po because of the pandemic, Pero we do our best to discharge our functions even in the most challenging circumstances po.
Thank you, sir. So you have a lot of accomplishments po pala, and marami pong natulungan ang inyong pong unit, especially during those times na nagkaroon po tayo ng mga calamities. And in accordance with your disaster risk reduction management operation at saka po sa HADR, So very, very active po pala ang inyo pong unit, the 7th Marine Brigade Reserve, in helping our people or kababayan during all those times. And especially po with your assets, I'm sure po na together with the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Marines, you are working hand in hand with them to help all those people and yung po mga kababayan po natin na nangangailangan ng inyong tulong. And nakakatuwa po malaman na patuloy po ang inyong pong paglilingkod kahit na po sa gitna ng pandemya. Ito pong nagkaroon po tayo ng COVID-19 kung saan marami po sa ating mga kababayan ang nagkasakit or nahawa. And ganun din po sa ating pong mga tropa po, lalo-lalo na po sa mga actively participating na member po ng Daang Kawal na nakakasama po sa distribution ng medical supplies, food supplies, and I think even po yung manning our checkpoints. Ano po? I think you also participated in those kind of activities. Now, sir, you mentioned one of the challenge that you had in your unit is this pandemic, ano po, with their struggle with the COVID-19. Any other challenges po that you've experienced and maybe you'd like to share so that maybe we can have an idea how to overcome it as well, sir?
Yes. I'm glad na you brought it up po. Alam niyo yung continuing challenge po sa mga reservists ay galing sa nature ng trabaho ng reservist. Yung reservist, kasi dalawa yung identity ng reservist. The reservist has an identity as a civilian and at the same time an identity with the armed forces. So at the same time, with those two identities, dalawa yung careers, dalawa yung lifestyles. So yung continuing challenge sa reservist is paano ba mag-balance yung dalawang careers, yung dalawang lives, dalawang identities, and responsibilities. Yan ang challenge sa reservist. Kasi meron kang sariling trabaho as a civilian, yung your way of life, and at the same time meron ka ding katungkulan bilang miyembro ng serbisyo. So yung challenge doon ay paano babalansin mo yung dalawang yun, kasi dalawang klaseng commitment mo. Tapos yung pamilya mo. So yan ang pinakamalaking challenge sa serbisyo na as a reservist. No? Paano mo i-discharge mo yung mga katungkulan mo, yung responsibilities mo often as a head of the family or member of a civilian civilian organization, and at the same time a member of the armed forces. So very challenging po 'yon. And kasi iba't ibang circumstances ang pumapasok sa buhay ng reservist, and yan ang nag-a-affect ng ability mo to discharge yung function and responsibility mo. So yung challenge ng reservist is paano mo babalansin mo 'yon, no? Especially ngayon, lalo na ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya, mas challenging para sa reservist kasi yung pandemya naapekto yung economy very severely, at because of that maraming mga reservists na mas nahirapan sa trabaho nila, and because of that mas challenging sa reservist kasi you have to make very hard choices po between your desire to serve as a volunteer and at the same time to attend to yung mga pangangailangan ng pamilya mo or yung trabaho mo. So these times are even more challenging for your reservist po. Pero we do our best to overcome this in spite of the circumstances. And we appreciate po the support of the armed forces and for our reservists. And we do our best to try to make the most of our situation and still perform our responsibilities and tasks po.
Thank you very much po, sir. And you're right. Tama po kayo. It's juggling between our civilian work or duties, our careers, and in between that po is our duty to our country, being a reservist po, ano. So talaga pong we need to have a good time management po. Talagang one of our struggles po talaga dyan is yung ating paano natin yung ating oras sa paglilingkod sa ating pamilya, sa ating trabaho, ganun din po sa ating bayan. And alam naman po natin sa ating pagmamahal sa ating bayan, paglilingkod sa ating bansa is dito po bilang reservist is wala po tayong hinihintay na kapalit and wala rin po tayong salary or sweldo natatanggap po mula po dito sa ating paglilingkod bayan. Tama po, sir?
Tama po yun. Lahat po kami volunteers, no? So an even greater degree of dedication and willingness to sacrifice is demanded of yung mga reservists. Pero that's why mas challenging ngayon yung mga panahon para sa mga reservists ninyo because of yung mga circumstances.
Yes, sir. And kasama pa po dyan yung kagaya na nabanggit nyo is facing this pandemic, part of the challenge in our lives is mahirap po talaga na magkasakit sa panahon ngayon. And any plans po, sir, or programs po, let's say with your unit, being vaccinated or something like that, or we do it in kanya-kanya pong paraan para po to be protected against this pandemic po.
Yes po, I'm glad you brought that up po. We have our efforts for vaccination ay co-coordinate with the higher headquarters and the Naval Reserve Command, and our reservists have indicated their availability and willingness to undergo the vaccinations, which are being provided for us by the Philippine Navy and the Naval Reserve Command po. But at the same time, some of our reservists have already gone ahead and were able to get some of their vaccinations on their own initiative. Pero at the same time, we remain ready and we're awaiting the instructions from higher headquarters on kung kailan pwedeng kung kailan nila i-administer yung vaccination sa atin as a part of the reserve component.
That's good to hear po, sir, that you're doing your best po. And you have those plans for your troops or for your men, especially in taking care of their health against this COVID-19 pandemic. Nakakatuwa po malaman na hindi pa rin po napapabayaan ang ating pong mga katropa po dyan mula po sa Laang Kawal, lalong-lalo na po sa inyong pong unit, sa pagganap sa kanilang tungkulin at may coordination po with the Philippine Navy for their vaccination. Hoping nga po is lahat po tayong mga member ng Laang Kawal ay maging protektado po dito po sa pandemya ng COVID-19, and we have to be vaccinated as well. And nakakatuwa po na isa po sa aming naging guest noon si Lieutenant Colonel John Arceo. Nabanggit nga po niya na together with the help of the Office of the President and of course with the AFP leadership, our AFP Reserve Force coming from the Army, Navy, Air Force will also receive their part po, lalo po dito sa mga vaccines na binabahagi po ng ating pamahalaan upang maging protektado laban dito po sa COVID, upang patuloy po na magampanan ng ating mga trabaho, function bilang member po ng Laang Kawal o Reserve Force. And then dito po sa nitong nakaraan nating karanasan, sir, dito sa pandemic, patuloy pa rin po ba ang inyo pong schooling, training, or is it we're using the social media through, let's say, this po, video call or Zoom para po ma-enhance ang skills and knowledge ng ating mga katropa po dyan.
Yes po, I'm glad you brought that up po kasi yan ang priority ng reserve component is to continuously train at mag-develop and enhance yung mga competencies po natin. Ang tuloy-tuloy po naman yung training natin kahit na naapekto kami sa pandemya or meron kaming structured meron kaming structured training na underway. We have several courses being undertaken po ngayon. Some of them are the career courses. Yung Naval Command and Staff course is underway po ngayon. And some of our junior officers are participating there. We have other courses that have been administered by the Naval Reserve Command po, like the Basic Reservist Administration course, the Information Collection Training course, and at the same time po, we have our own initiatives po ng training within our brigade po na we undertake at our own expense, at our own time. So on the weekends, meron pa kaming mga activities within the brigade. Bawat battalion meron din silang sariling training na underway. One of our battalions, the 72nd Battalion, has a program of instruction to continuously refresh basic competencies and skills of our reservists. And another battalion po, or 73rd Battalion, meron silang sariling training na underway to develop competencies po like marksmanship. And at the same time, laranap sa pagpasok ng mga bagong reservists natin, we make it a point na to continuously mag-disseminate ng guidance and advice sa kanila to facilitate yung entry and transition nila sa brigade as part of the overall training and education po namin. So this is a major activity po ng brigade, training and education. Even on our own, even sa level na at an individual level, we try to disseminate, and what we personally know, kahit na hindi sa in a structured way, yung mga kaalaman ng bawat reservist, i-encourage ko sa kanila na i-disseminate para ma-pass on yung knowledge and information to add to the information of our reservists po.
Okay, thank you very much for that information, sir. So it's nice to know po na patuloy nga po ang training pa rin po ng inyo pong unit. Aside from the usual po na online schooling, or just like what you said po, via using social media, video calls, or ito pong Zoom. And so far po, meron na po ba or wala pa po yung mga physical face-to-face training po or get-together po sa inyo pong unit at the 7th Marine Brigade Reserve?
Meron din po, pero whatever we try to limit physical contact, and kung merong physical na meetings, we ensure that we observe the health protocol and minimize the number of persons aboard, and we maintain social distancing, and we use yung PPEs, no? Pero as much as possible, we try to minimize the physical contact.
Okay po, sir. That's good to hear para maiwasan din po na magkaroon po ng hawahan. At the same time, following the IATF protocol, that we still have to follow social distancing or physical distancing as much as possible. Aside po sa the usual na to wear our face masks, face shields when going out, is lagi pong maghugas ng kamay or mag-alcohol. And sir, I just forgot to ask po, With your unit po, 7 Marine Brigade Reserve, any coverage po ng inyo pong unit? Ito po is it operating in NCR or which province po ang sakop po ninyo?
At this time po, ang 7th Marine Brigade Reserve has an AOR within the National Capital Region. So meron kaming 3 battalions located in the National Capital Region, and our AOR at this time is focused primarily within the NCR, no? And some of the provinces at the border of the NCR, no?
Okay, so NCR po ang inyong pong area of responsibility.
Yes.
So nakakatuwa po, sir. So kayo po pala yung under your unit po, yung pong nakikita natin through our social media and the news na helping our people together with the Philippine Navy and the Marines as well in performing the duties para po sa ating mga kababayan, especially ngayon pong panahon na pandemic. And then also, sir, can you give us some insight po? What are the qualifications and the recruitment process sa inyo to become one with the Philippine Navy Reserve as a Marine Reservist?
There are several paths po to becoming a Marine Reservist po. To become a Marine Reservist through commissioning as an officer or through enlistment, no? Kung para sa officer, there are several entry points, no? In the case of you can be commissioned po on the basis of being a elected official or a presidential appointee, or as a graduate of advanced naval ROTC, or you can be commissioned also as a reserve officer through being a graduate of the National Defense College of the Philippines. In general, the requirements or qualifications para maging Marine Reservist is the same as the requirements to be a naval reservist. So that includes being a Filipino citizen, graduate or a graduate of a basic ROTC, being 21 years of age, 21 years up to 64 years of age, at the time of your appointment as a reserve officer. And then you have to pass po yung physical examination standards conducted by a AFP hospital or civilian or government hospital. And then you have to be graduate of this is for officer po, no? Graduate of a baccalaureate degree or honorary degree program. And you have to pass po yung AFP aptitude test battery, except for the elected or appointed government officials, or holders of government licenses and graduates of the National Defense College. And then you pass through the pre-entry training or pre-commissioning, and you will be cleared po by the pertinent offices in the armed forces or the major service, like the Office of the Assistant Chief of Naval Staff for Intelligence, N2.
Thank you, sir. So yung mga basic requirements po, just like what you said, they have to fill out forms and then pass the standard requirements. Siguro po yung po mga local clearances, mga po ba, sir? Mga police, NBI clearance.
Yes,
and
po.
then they have to pass also, I think, the medical exam. Lalong-lalo na po sa inyo, I think one of the toughest trainings you have is with the Marines. And especially po dito po sa Ternate, Cavite, sa inyo pong Marine base po dyan. We have friends po dyan na talagang they have a lot of stories. Marami po silang kwento regarding their trainings, And talaga pong nakakabilib, nakakatuwa po talaga. Together with the side by side with the regular Marine troops out there, they learned a lot, experienced a lot po talaga. So I'm very happy po talaga to hear all those stories also coming from you, sir. No? And so basically po sa lahat po ng ating mga katropa po dyan, kababayan na nagnanais pong sumali bilang bahagi po or member ng Marine Reservice, Philippine Navy Marine Reserve, just like what Colonel Feliciano said, ano po, you have to pass those requirements. Maybe they could, sir, visit the website po, ano, sa inyo pong, is it with NABRESCOM or you have a specific website po sa Philippine Navy Marine Reserve po?
Social media, we have our own Facebook page po that we regularly post, so yung mga interested parties can look at, no. In addition po, yung interested, those, it's the basic queries and the requirements sa magiging Marine Reservist is handled out of the Naval Reserve Command po. So sila ang unang point of query sa mga interested parties para maging Marine Reservist. Another point of entry po for the Marine Reservist is through BCMT, Basic Citizens Military Training po. So this is mainly for yung mga interested applicants na hindi nakapag ROTC. They go through the BCMC, Basic Citizens Military Course, and from there sasabihin nila or indicate nila yung preference nila to join the fleet or to join as a Marine Reservist po. And yung the requirements are based on also the needs of the end user ng mga reservists, the Philippine Fleet and the Philippine Marine Corps po. And pag tinapos nyo na yung BCMC and or indicated your intention to become a Marine Reservist po, yung susunod doon is yung isa pang level ng training which is more marine specific. It's called yung Marine Reserve Orientation Training or MROT. At doon gaganapin yung mas specific orientation and training that is peculiar to the Marine Reservist po, and that's usually handled out of the Ternate or Marine Base Gregorio Lim, and it's a collaborative effort between the Naval Reserve Command and the Philippine Marine Corps.
Thank you very much, sir, for that information, and that's really helpful po sa lahat po ng tatanong po natin na mga kaibigan, katropa po dyan, paano po sumali at maging kasama ninyo po, makasama sa Philippine Navy Marines as a Marine Reservist. One notable celebrity reservist po sa inyo po sa Marines is it pong si now Lieutenant Commander Dingdong Dantes. Tama po ba, sir? I think she started with training together with the Philippine Navy Marines as a Marine Reservist. Tama po, sir?
Yes po. Si now Major Dantes is he originally joined another Marine Reserve unit po, not the 7th Marine Brigade po. He was with the one of our affiliated reserve units, the Marine which is known as the Mark SSBN, which is the affiliated reserve unit of the Philippine Marine Corps. So medyo iba yung unit na yan compared to the 7th Marine Brigade po, which is considered a line reserve unit. No? The unit that Major Dantes is with is a affiliated unit which is primarily based out of a existing organization, in this case a private company. Pero we work together nonetheless po.
Okay po, sir. Nice to hear that.
We're very happy to work with them. Alam niyo, kasama namin sila sa relief efforts during the Taal volcano.
Yes, sir.
In the wake of the eruption po. So we work hand in hand, 7th Marine Brigade and with the Major Dantes unit, and we're very happy to to continue to work with him and their commanding officer, si Lieutenant Colonel Sunny Wang. No?
Oh, okay. Nice to hear that, sir. Talaga pong hand in hand, you're working all together po sa Philippine Navy Marines Reserve in helping our kababayan and also performing your duty together with our Philippine Navy and regular troops from the Marines. And maraming salamat po sa inyo pong patuloy na paglilingkod sa ating bayan. Walang sawa po na pagtulong sa lahat po ng sulok ng ating bansa, lalong-lalo na po dito sa atin sa mga nangangailangan sa oras po ng na hinihingi nila ang tulong, kagaya po ng mga calamities, mga disaster, you're always responding. And before we end the program, sir, any final message that you would like to inform or say to our viewers po and listeners as well?
Gusto lang naming sabihin sa lahat na we very much appreciate yung pagkakataon na ito to volunteer and to help our people and our country, and in partnership with the Armed Forces of the Philippines through the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Marine Corps. And we will remain ready to assist in any way possible our people, and we will continue to discharge our functions and provide support to the armed forces and to our people. And the 7th Marine Brigade will remain and continue to develop and be ready to discharge its functions. And we welcome lahat ng mga queries about your reserve component and the 7th Marine Brigade, and we look forward to the next opportunity po to be with you po in this venue.
Thank you very much po, sir, and lubos po ang aming pasasalamat po muli sa inyo pong tugon sa ating paanyaya po na kayo po ay maging aming panauhin for today, June 5, 2021, as part of the service hour po. Thank you for sharing all those information, and malaking tulong po yan sa lahat po ng ating mga katropa, yung mga interesado po sumali sa inyo pong hanay as a Marine Reservist. And alam niyo naman po na marami po ang namamangha, lalo suot po ang inyo pong uniforme bilang Marine Reserve. And then in behalf of our program, sa lahat po ng bumubuo ng programang Reservist Hour, sir, ako naman po, I would like to thank the Office of Deputy Chief of Staff for Reservist and Retirees Affairs, or J9, and together with the officers and men and their staff. Thank you very much po. Si Brigadier General Rodelin Manzano, Philippine Navy Marines Reserve, together with the Multi-Sectoral Linkaging Committee. Hand in hand, they're working with Captain Jerwel Villaflores, Philippine Navy, Captain John De Villa, also from Philippine Navy, and their partners at this Multi-Sectoral Linkaging Committee, ito pong Alagang Kapatid Foundation, Ronald McDonald House of Charities, our commander po from AFP Reserve Command. I would like to greet Brigadier General Ferdinand Praginal, also Philippine Navy Marines. Si Colonel Lino Inahit po ng Philippine Air Force, coming from the AFP Reserve Command as well. And our own Captain Mijares from J7 of AFRESCOM. And then ito pong kaibigan po natin na si Major Ryan Barion from the Philippine Army Reserve naman po, and si Lieutenant Eric Cabrera watching our program for today, at sa lahat po ng ating mga katropa po dyan na nakatutok bumabati sa ating programa ngayon, sir. Yung newly graduates din po ng BCMT class, Philippine Air Force, First Arsen, Paulo San Pedro, congratulations sa inyo. And Engineer Jun Topeño and family, together with PFC, Nino Dio, Philippine Navy Marines Reserve. Isa po sa kaibigan po namin na mag-share po nung kanilang experience sa balikatan, na talaga pong nakakamangha po, and on my part po, nakainggit sana po ako rin is one day makasama po dito sa balikatan exercises, and or kahit makasaksi po sa inyo pong participation dito po sa ginaganap na exercises together with the US. Sir, muli po, pasalamat po ako sa inyo. At ganoon din po sa lahat po ng bumubuo ng ating programa, sa inyo po sa Philippine Navy Marines, at ganoon din po sa Naval Reserve Command. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, sir.
Marami pong salamat ulit po.
Okay po, sir. And muli po mga kababayan, mga katropa, ito po yung lingkod si Katropang Bernie. Papasalamat po sa inyo. Mabating isang magandang araw po ng Sabado at laang kawal, mabuhay ka. Salamat po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you po and good morning. No?
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.